everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm joined by my friend Nabil, who most of you know as Game Zone. We're going to be talking about the most recent update and the upcoming class nerfs. So Game Zone, how are you today? Hopefully you're not too tired. I know I woke you up especially for this.
Hey Risha, I'm good. I just woke up like an hour ago, a little tired, but doing well. I hope you're doing the same. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm good, thank you. Me and Game Zone, we play together all the time, but we're on completely different time zones, so it's always difficult for us to get these videos together. But it's something that we've been wanting to do again for quite some time. So, Game Zone, what is your most favourite part of the most recent update that we've had in game? Obviously, there was quite a few changes, new zone, and some changes in mechanics and quality of life improvements as well. So, what would you say was your most favourite part of that update?
well, there are a couple of them. I will start with the new crafting system, which is introduced inside the game because I believe that it is going to help a lot of new players or someone who don't have a lot of time to play. They can use the system to help themselves prepare for the newer difficulty, especially when every time when we unlock. I mean, just imagine when there are going to be three new difficulties coming which are not present inside the game. I think that new crafting system is going to help a lot to most of us, including myself, so we don't have to grind a lot. And apart from that, we can actually now get the eternal FXs of our choices. So that is one big, huge thing in my opinion, which is really good. The system itself is good. The grinding is not that hard to do. Most of the material you can get is through doing health slip bounties, terror waves, or just farming in open world, and that is quite nicely done in my opinion by the developers of Diablo Immortal. So yeah, that is one thing which I really loved. I am right now stocking all my material for Inferno 6, so later I can craft a lot of the a lot of the items which I am looking for PvP, for Demon Hunter, which would give me some survival ability. So yeah, that's the one thing which I really like. And the second thing I would say is Battleground map itself. It is really enjoyable. It is just no straight face off anymore where you have I mean where you've been fighting the other team in a straight row. That was somewhat really boring, and there was not much strategy involved in it. But now, since we have an open arena to fight, we can move around a lot and use Demon Hunter or many other classes uh, ability to move around. If I mean, we are running around with dash as well, so that is really nice. And also playing with friends is one thing which I am really enjoying. So yeah, overall these two things are which I am enjoying a lot. And I know there are a lot other things, but these two are the one which just came into my mind.
When it comes to the new gear crafting, how do you feel about the cost of Terra essences for I think it's the re-enchantment on the
Skill sword,
legendary, like that we have the skill.
Rodelic,
I can't think of it.
the Rodelic, or
Yeah, so there's I think I can't remember which one it is. There's something that when you do the crafting, it uses like 10 Terra essences.
oh, that in the enchantment system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
now,
enchantment. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I just remember we can actually do that as well, but I actually just avoided that because 10 Tower Essence cost is just too much. It is
Yeah.
just forcing you to spend inside game, buy those Tower Essences from the game and do your enchanting. And honestly, I think just yesterday or day before I was telling you that it took me 51 rerolls on my gear piece just to get the critical chance. So yeah, I would not use my Tower Essence for enchantment at all unless they drop the cost from 10 to 1. Otherwise, I know the option is there, but it is stupidly too high. The cost is too high. 10 is insane in my opinion. It is not worth
Yeah,
it.
I agree with that. I think I did the re-roll on one item, and then I was like, "Oh shit, that just cost me 10 Terra Essence," because
Yeah,
I didn't look at the top, and I didn't look at the cost. I just assumed it would be the same as the normal magic affixes, and then yeah, and then I had to go
yeah,
to the
it's
market and buy
insane.
more Terra Essences so I could do bounties.
Yeah, the cost is insane. I was happy
Yeah,
at first too when I saw that it is present. When I actually noticed the price, it was insanely so high that
yeah,
I knew at this from the start that this is just going to be available for whales, and even whales are feeling hesitant to use that. In my opinion, even they are
yeah.
staying away from it. So
I
it's a
think
failed attempt, I think, from developers.
yeah. I think we'll see the price of Terra Essence just like slowly creeping up and up in the market as well. Because obviously, well, a lot of us have seen Terra Essence sold for like 100 platinum, and I think it's already slowly on its way up. And I think that's going to keep going with this new Essence enchant or new enchantment for those actual skill based affixes. So it'll be interesting to see long term what effect that does have on the market. I think for Terra Essence, especially as you can only earn, from the Terra Rifts each week, and you're kind of limited to how many you can obviously earn from that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, I think.
I think the prices will hike once we get to Inferno 6 because that is when a lot of
Yeah,
players run their Oblivion pillars, and if they find some really good gear drop, I'm sure they're going to use the those enchantment to get the right effects on their gear. So it makes sense.
yeah,
Around that time, the prices are just, I mean, definitely going to go up. So now would be the nice time for anyone who wants to grab some Tarot Assets for cheap. They could do that. But once we reach Inferno 6, yeah, the price is definitely going to go up because that is
yeah,
also the time when I would prefer myself to run some Oblivion pillars with Window of Fortune, which I believe should come next month as well, because what I have been noticing that there is a pattern here. With every new battle pass we are getting, I mean, one Winds of Fortune, not the Mirror
yeah,
Jewel, just Winds of Fortune with every single new battle pass. So I'm sure within next 3 or 4 weeks, Wind of Fortune will make its way back. So that would be the nice time to run those Oblivion Pillar because we would have been already reached Inferno 6 by then.
yeah, definitely. And with the new Battleground map, so you mentioned that that's one of your favorite updates. That was
Yeah.
also, I think, probably my favorite update as well. I was a bit apprehensive at first because obviously I wasn't one of the people that got to test it out. You did get the chance to test it out, and you've helped me with knowing what to do in that. Do you prefer playing the new Battleground map with a friend, or do you prefer playing it solo? What would you say you enjoy doing most with that?
With my experience, I think I had better chance when I was playing with friends instead of going solo because there are a lot of players who are using this new feature and it somewhat makes the matchmaking broken even now. I think just today or yesterday I have uploaded a video where I just got destroyed by Crusader and the entire team of our opponents were too strong. I think this was the uh, same issue with the matchmaking where a lot of players are playing together and our side was just food for them for inside that match.
Yeah,
So overall, my experience playing with the friends is far better than going solo. But overall, I have been enjoying the newer map a lot more compared to the old one, and I have not touched the old map ever since the new one came out. And the only wish I have right now is that they fix the matchmaking system and put some nerfs to the necromancer. Uh, Radius is insane in my opinion. It's just too huge. It hits so hard, and also I would really want developers to extend the duration of a newer battleground in evening time because 3 hours is not enough.
yeah,
And it
I
is one of
agree.
the busiest hour where you will have to
Yeah,
do vault, you have to do assembly, so you could already see that for an hour, people would be doing some other activities, and also
Yeah,
it is the time when a lot of players are also doing their raids or
yeah,
vanguard. So
yeah.
that time is not really good for the newer battleground, in my opinion, and they should extend the duration, maybe for the entire evening till midnight. That would be my
Yeah,
suggestion.
I agree with that. I think as well, depending on time zone and where you live, obviously in the UK, when Battleground opens, is the time that a lot of people have just finished work. So that first hour quite often is a no play for people because of commuting and things like that. And I think that affects it as well on a lot of areas of Europe. If you know, depending on where people are
Yeah,
living, they're not able to actually play it because of their work time, what time they finish, and how long their commute is. You know, for example, our friend Zion, who's obviously on
yeah,
YouTube as well as Turag Gaming, he has that issue that he quite often misses it completely because he's only just got home from work like halfway through. He's then got to do his assembly. And
yeah,
then, like, by the time he's had dinner, it's like, oh, Battleground's closed. I'll just have to play the old map again. So I think
yeah.
I agree that they need to extend how long it's open for, or open it for like a couple of hours in the morning as well, or something, so that people have more opportunity to play it throughout the day. Because obviously, I mean, evening time is more beneficial, I think, for most players, because I would say the majority of players, especially on our server, generally play later in the evening. But yeah, having it open more than just those 3 hours would make a huge difference, I think, for a lot of players as well.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I feel like that since it's only open for 3 hours in the evening, people are hesitant to play the newer battleground, and they are stuck with the old map because of the sense of familiar. I mean, with the map, that they feel much more comfortable playing that,
Yeah,
and also keeping in one more thing in mind that since the matchmaking for the newer Battleground Convoy is bad due to the uh, party system, I mean, playing with your friend, uh, I think players feel like that playing the older map is much safer to improve their
yeah,
uh, uh, leagues or tiers or whatever they are called. So if they want to, raise their rank higher, they prefer the older map. So maybe this is why, and also and another reason why, I mean, it only opens for 3 hours, but we don't know for sure. But yeah, definitely they are testing a lot of things and collecting data behind the scene. But honestly, it should still be open for more than 3 hours in evening, despite of how bad it is, or it could at some times. It should still be
yeah.
open for more than 3 hours, in my opinion.
Definitely. I think you're right with people being apprehensive to play it because of obviously not knowing the new map, and the people that haven't yet had a chance to play it, they're kind of at that point now where they're kind of at a bit of a disadvantage because they haven't yet had that experience. And I think because it is a totally different map, totally different objectives, you kind of do need to have some experience. So I keep posting videos on Battleground Convoy because I obviously, you know, I love that mode, but also it's so that people can actually get an idea of what the map's like,
Yeah,
what the objectives are.
exactly.
But I agree, a lot of people are still playing that old map because they're not getting anywhere with the new map. I mean, you've seen when we've played together quite often, you and myself are in the top 2 or 3 players each
Yeah,
match,
but we
but it's
still
always a
lose.
loss.
Yeah, we still lose.
So, and I mean, I played normal Battleground this week and I did 3 matches and all of them were wins. And 2 of those matches were against real players. One was a bot match, so I didn't count it. But I was like, that's still 2 wins that's actually put my score up higher.
Yeah,
So it does
exactly.
really affect win rate, the new Battleground as well, which I think is a shame. But overall, it is actually a better Battleground experience, I think.
Ye-
So also with the update, we got the new zone or start of the new zone, Sharval Wilds. What are you hoping to see in this new zone as we get a larger expansion on it as the updates go on?
Well, honestly, I find the newer story quite interesting compared to the last major update, which had Diablo. And I was really hoping that Diablo had a longer story, but compared to that, I think how they started the new one, the Sharval Wilds, the conflict between druids and the witches. it is quite intriguing in my opinion. I really do want to see where it leads. I am really enjoying. I mean, I really enjoyed the story and played it, and it wasn't so long. And the way they are doing it now, like breaking the quest into pieces, I think this is going to keep the players' interest to the story for a longer time. And with that, they are going to expand the newer zone. So I think this is a nice approach. So instead of bringing the new content in later months, they are just splitting it now and giving it every few months. So that is, in my opinion, is a nice approach and would keep the players' interest at high. That is what I think. And overall, the story is nice, and I think they already have given us the idea what class we should be expecting, and it should be Druid, because now,
Yeah.
yeah, we have seen them. We also have seen them that they can transform, and they can use some spiritual magic to heal the land. So yeah, I'm quite interested to see where it leads and get the chance to play do it myself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I was just about to ask, so you will be playing the new class when that lands in game, I'm guessing?
Obviously, I'm just going to try it out and see how it goes. And if it's going to be OP, I'm just going to enjoy putting down some malakas in Battleground, so that would be nice.
You can carry me to victory in our Battleground convoy.
This time around, you should also play with the newer class. Switch from wizard to the druid and see how it goes. We
It
can both
depends,
explore
like,
together.
it depends if the druid looks cute. If the female druid is like Tempest looks, I probably
Oh,
won't play it.
yeah, the
Just
Tempest.
based on that alone.
And it's a sad face, I would say, that they made for Tempest female. All three or
Yeah,
four of them were just
yeah.
looking bad. I don't know if they did
When
it
you
on purpose or what was the reason, but yeah, it looks weird.
I think when we saw the artist's depiction of the Tempest, like female Tempest, everyone was like, "Oh my god, like this class
Yeah,
is going to be really hot." And then it came out, and we were like, "Oh, really?" Like,
yeah.
yeah, it wasn't
Ex-
wasn't the look I think most of us were
yeah.
expecting.
Expectation versus reality.
Yeah. So obviously there's been some leaks recently, and it's something that we've discussed quite a lot over messages about class nerfs that are upcoming. So the two big ones I think are Tempest and Barbarian. How do you feel about these class nerfs, and what do you think is going to happen going forward with this?
Oh, there are a couple of things which I have in my mind, and I was also having conversation with Doc from Battle Knight or Imperium, if you know him. So we were
Yeah.
just discussing that the nerf which we recently getting on these melee classes could be because when Druid is going to come, they want to adjust Druid skills along with these barbarians and Tempest. So what we thought that Druid overall might not have the strongest skill set, and this is why they are doing some pre-nerf before the newer class come, which makes sense because I have seen couple of, I mean, skills of Druid from Diablo 4, and I could say that Druid has some abilities to transform or use AoE or like area or effects skills, but overall I think it won't be that strong like it like the Tempest was when it came out. So that could be one reason why they are adjusting it already so that players won't be mad later when the Druid comes. Or the second reason which comes in my mind is since Barbarian and Tempest are not the range class, it makes sense that they shouldn't have the same range as Wizard, Necromancer, or Demon Hunter, because if they have the range and they are melee class and they have all the survival ability, then what is the point of playing the other classes? Wizard as of now is only good for applying CC and run away. That is, and if they take away that thing from wizard, then that class is done for. Demon Hunter, as of now, only has the advantage of having a range and around really quickly with their dashes. But if they get caught, they are done for because they don't have a lot of cheat that like Barbarian has, or a lot of shields that uh, Tempest has. So it makes sense that they are reducing their range. So overall, from 8 yard to 4 yard for Tempest is welcoming. However, I thought it should have been like 5 yard and not 4, but we'll see how it goes. And for the Barbarian, that chain was fucking work working like, I don't know what to say, but it used to pull you out of screen. So I'm
Yeah,
still worried now after that nerf if it is going to work properly, or if it was still, pull you in from a very long distance, because it used to happen a lot. So
yeah,
overall, these changes are nice, but the only thing which I am worried about is Barbarian, the hammer is being adjusted, so I'm not sure how it is going to impact the overall gameplay. Because if players don't feel like that their class is doing well in Battleground or overall, they're just going to switch classes, jump ships, and it entirely defeat the purpose of bringing these adjustment if that is what they are going to do.
yeah,
And if that happens, then whichever class they pick next would be in the radar for developers to bring more adjustment for. And this doesn't fix anything, and the cycle will
yeah,
just continue, in my opinion. So
yeah,
instead of bringing drastic changes to the classes, in such a small time, I think they should go slightly soft with these changes. Like, maybe, like I have said, tempo should have been adjusted from 8 to 5 yard, which in my opinion makes sense, since it's a range attack, but not a range class. So 5 yard is good.
yeah,
For Barbarian, they should have, like, yeah, reduce the range of the chain, but the hammer should still remain lethal, because this way you would still feel scared that if you get pulled in by Barbarian, then you are done for. But when you knew that Barbarian can't catch you anymore, and even if it did, there is a huge possibility that you are going to survive its hammer. So for
yeah,
Barbarian, it would makes them feel weak, and even though they are going to have a lot of survival ability and cheat, that what's the point of it if they are just going to act like a tank and not able to do much with it? So I think the hammer should have remained the same, but the range was a reasonable nerf, in my opinion. So these two, these are my thoughts for these two classes. And for the Necro, I think you're also getting nerf for it for the Hulk skill or builds or whatever. The damage reduction, I think that's a good change as well, because Hulks right now as a Necromancer is doing so well, especially if they have a
yeah,
lot of armor. They are reducing their damage reduction from 50 to 40%, which I think is a good change, and it won't, change their play style like drastically, so they should be fine. And Crusader is also receiving the nerf, but I have no clue what that is, so we'll see. But I want their range to be reduced with that circle thing. It's really annoying.
yeah. I agree. I think the issue, and it's something that we've talked about again in messages that obviously our viewers don't know that we've talked about a lot of times, but me and Gang have spoken so many times about why are there so many melee classes with more range than a range class. It makes no
Yeah.
sense whatsoever. So it's good, I think, to be seeing the nerf on the range of some of those melee classes for sure. I think that's going to be I think it's going to improve everyone's battleground experience as well. Because if we've already had the survivability, everyone's got the same 30% now damage reduction
Yeah,
in
it's a good
battleground, which
change.
has been amazing. And I think what we will see, like you said, I think unfortunately what we will see is a lot of people jumping class, which, like you said, it doesn't help anything, because then that's when you end up with these harsh nerfs, because everyone's playing this class because it's OP, and everyone's playing that class because it's
Yeah,
OP. And we obviously both had that previously when Demon Hunter and Wizard were both really high up there for Battleground and everything. So loads of people were playing it, and then both of our classes slowly got worse and worse because of that. So
yeah,
I think
exactly.
it'll be interesting to see what happens after those nerfs come in game. And I've already noticed a few people swapping classes on the Battleground leaderboards, which is probably something that you've also noticed,
Yeah,
having a little look
I,
through.
I'm noticing a lot of Demon Hunter as of now, but I think they have to learn the class again because compared to Tempest, Demon Hunter require a lot of uh what was the word? Uh sense of environment because you have to activate your skills at certain moment and in direction to escape or hit someone. And with Tempest, all you have to do is activate your skill, jump in, attack, and activate your skill, jump out. That is all you have to do
Yeah,
with the Tempest, or at least that is what I was doing it. But compared to Tempest and Demon Hunter, Tempest was a lot easier class to play with. I wouldn't say that you didn't need the skill. All I would say that you didn't need it to pay a lot of attention while playing Tempest, but when you're going to go and play Demon Hunter, you have to pay a lot of attention to your skills, movement, and how you want to play it. Because if you don't, you won't feel like as effective as Tempest. And even if you play at your best, I think Demon Hunter would still not be able to compete with the Tempest in terms of damage or how strong the burst damage of a Tempest is, which still is going to be. They are just reducing its a range, but anything other than that is still there. So if Tempest still catches you and get close to you, you are done for. But
yeah,
now no, but now we classes will have a chance to run away from Tempest and survive its disc attack or whatever. Some people call it banana attack, some people call it disc attack, whatever they call. But yeah, so yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. I've obviously, as you know, I've been playing Tempest on my alt, and I agree. The class, it doesn't take too much thought behind your skill activation. You kind of just can
No,
activate all your skills and go. Whereas, yeah, especially in PvP, Demon Hunter and Wizard, you have to be more thoughtful of like, right, I need to activate this skill then, because by then the cooldown will be ready for this time, and
yeah,
it
exactly.
it's very much like that. I think
It's
with
the
Wizard
same
and
thing.
Demon Hunter.
I would say it's the same thing with Wizard because if you're playing like a hybrid playstyle which you do where you are using some CC and also using your attack, then you have to time your attacks for the right moment. Otherwise, if
Yeah,
you misplace your attack, then you know that you have to use teleport and run away because
yeah,
the other party has already evaded your attacks and they have an open uh, window to attack you freely without you able to do anything. So these things actually matter. But with
yeah,
Tempest, they already have their skills activated for longer duration since those skills are buff durations. So all they have to do is activate skill, jump in with the breaker skill or the other one, which is a flowing strike, which hit you and stun you and just you know get you easily. So yeah, Tempest is a lot easier class to play with, and I think this is also why players feel more fun with Tempest because on mobile is more friendly compared to Demon Hunter or Wizard because you don't
yeah,
have to spam a lot of things. I mean, if I expect to play with my mobile and I have to spam a lot of skills, I rather prefer to connect my controller with mobile so I can
yeah,
have a better understanding of my skills, but I really can't play like I play with my Demon Hunter on mobile. So I always prefer PC because with PC,
Yeah.
I have full control with everything. I know what I am doing. So having a controller is another thing I would say which give players a edge over other players.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think that's something that I've struggled with. Obviously, you know that I play on mobile and I only play on the mobile screen as well. And sometimes there's the issue where I position a skill, but my screen hasn't registered it because I'm bashing buttons already for all my
Yeah,
other skills. And that's one, it's a huge advantage, I think, playing on controller for that alone, you know, compared to on using mobile and just using the mobile screen. So
and
yeah, definitely.
I have a big thumb, and for me, it's hard to see the
So
skills.
do I.
Yeah, it's hard for me to see the skills behind my thumb, and
Yeah.
I can tell when I need to activate them again. So that is another issue with me playing on mobile, and and once again, I prefer to play on my PC most of the time, and the
Yeah.
only time when I play on mobile is when I am away. So yeah, overall, I would say even players who are playing on mobile, they should try out playing with controller. Connected with the Bluetooth, it works because or Xbox or PlayStation 5 controller should work with your mobile through the Bluetooth. And definitely they're going to feel a lot better or get a lot better experience overall, in my opinion.
I'm gonna have
But
to try
yeah,
it.
you definitely should try it out, especially
If
that.
anyone wants to buy me a controller, leave a
Yeah,
donation in the comments.
yeah, the Xbox One X controller would be really nice in my opinion, and you'll be able to do, I mean, able to play with those builds, the spam builds. I think
Yeah,
much more better compared to just spamming those skills with your thumb. It
yeah.
makes
On
more
mobile,
sense.
it's really
Yeah,
hard to play the spam builds. In
with controller, it's a lot easier, Risha, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So we're coming up to Paragon 800 in a couple of weeks' time. Have you been prepping for this, and are you excited for the new essences for Demon Hunter? Or I think you're a bit like,
Yeah,
but yeah,
overall, no, I'm not excited for Demon Hunter essences. I will definitely test them out and show how they works, but I think there are just going to be another addition as essences which players are going to skip. They're just going to be there to give you some the options there to use, but the effectiveness of them don't look that interesting to me. Overall, I find Necromancer essences quite fun, or Wizard overall, but yeah, Demon Hunter isn't looking that great. I might switch my class at some point once I'm done farming with the Demon Hunter and try out something else for fun. Not to
yeah,
stick with the other class as permanent, just to try out something different to keep things fresh.
yeah. I think from the skills that I've seen, I can't remember what it's called, but there's one for Crusader that basically has the same kind of effect as the alchemical shrine does. So it will kind of like freeze targets in place, similar to the alchemical shrine. And I think that's probably the one that concerns me the most because in PvP, obviously, depending on how long that
Yeah,
duration is, that could be. I mean,
yeah.
Crusader already freeze people in place, so
If Crusader can do a lot of CC surprisingly, and their radius is insane, and we can
yeah,
already see a large numbers of players have rather switched to the Crusader recently, but I'm not sure if the nerf on them are going to hit them hard, but for what it looks like that most players are moving on to the Crusader if they are Barbarian or Demon
yeah,
Hunter or picking Wizard at as of now. So
yeah.
these three classes, in my opinion, are in most player radar to switch to after seeing those nerfs coming to the Tempest and Barbarian especially.
Yeah, I think with the new essences, the most fun looking ones seem to be for wizard and for necromancer. The
I hope
necromancer
so.
ones, like the necromancer ones, look really good, but I think they'll probably be better mainly for PvE, from what
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand.
Yeah, it's definitely
But
going to be for the PvE, but we'll never know.
yeah,
Someone might come up with some crazy builds later for PvP.
yeah,
I mean, Lord is there. Who knows? He might end up coming up with
yeah.
something. So there
I'm
is
sure
always a
Laura will come up with
possibility.
an
Yeah,
amazing build.
yeah,
Yeah, I
could
can
be.
just imagine him running around on the rhinoceros corpse in
Yeah.
Battleground.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
nobody has expected the Hulk builds to go viral, but it did. So yeah, there is a possibility that players might even start using this new mount and start knocking players and
Yeah,
hitting them with
exactly.
abilities. That could happen, yeah.
I think it
We'll
looks
see.
really interesting, that new
Uh,
Necromancer essence.
yeah, exactly.
I've been playing Tempest on my alt, but I think I'm gonna have to swap back to Necromancer because their new essences look too fun to stick with Tempest now. So
Yeah,
uh,
definitely. I think I might switch to Necromancer at some point too, just to try out that mountain, see how it feels. I would
yeah.
definitely want one for my demon hunter, but then again, I know it's not going to happen.
No. Well, it's a bit like when they brought the summons in for Wizard, and we ended up with the probably the worst Wizard essences of like two
Yeah,
snakes that you never see anyone use because they just suck. So yeah, I'm sure if Demon Hunter got a
yeah,
mount at any time, it would probably be similar to what that was for Wizard,
yeah.
unfortunately.
All right, give
So
me a second. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
that's okay. So anyway, thank you for coming today, Game Zone. Is there anything else that you want to share with our Diablo community that you're excited for? Anything that you've seen in the 2025 roadmap? Just as like your finishing part for this video, what is it? Is there anything that you've seen that you're excited for that is coming up?
Well, I'm looking forward to this adjustment and see where it leads us in the battleground experience because I think with the one major update, that was the center of everything and it matters a lot. So I am really looking forward to how these adjustments are going to improve overall experience for all the players, those who are playing different classes or those who are going to stick with these classes that are receiving overall adjustments, or you could say nerf. So that is one thing which I want to see, and I really don't want people to feel like that they have to jump ships to other classes if these adjustments are too harsh for them, which I hope that is not the case. And since there is still time, and this information came out a little early, so there is a possibility that things might come out a little different compared to what we have seen so far from the test
Yeah,
server. So that is one thing. Maybe we will see some different information. That is my guess, which could happen because community voice does matter at the end of the day, even though when they feel like that developers are not listening to them, but they are. I mean,
yeah,
even the new community manager East or Ghost Signal, he's always, you know, what's the word? He is always keeping his eyes everywhere, reading and
yeah,
collecting feedback. So that is a really good thing. So I am hopeful that there might be less nerfs coming compared to what we have seen from this test server compared to that. Yeah. And talking
yeah,
about the roadmap, I am looking forward to the new quest this time around and where it leads us. And I am looking forward to the newer class, which is Druid. And I am quite excited to play it and see how it is going to be. And what else is there coming up? I really can't remember. I think there's some new gears
new
stuff coming.
collaboration eventually
Oh,
with
yeah.
another franchise, like with another game franchise, like we
Yeah,
had
but
last year.
yeah, but it's
We
in
don't know
six
what it is
months.
yet.
Yeah, but it's in 6 months or so. But I'm excited for that as well when the time comes. But in the
Yeah,
near future, I am looking forward to the newer class definitely, and the story how it expands. These two things are which I am looking forward to. So yeah, that is what I would
yeah.
say. And although I don't look really excited right now, it's because I just woke up and a little tired. But yeah, I am.
This is Game Zone excited, I can assure you. Like,
Yeah, this is me excited, but I don't look excited at the same time because these LED lights are hitting in my eyes and it's making things hard for me to give my expression on my face.
Yeah.
It
Well,
happens.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today for this
Yeah,
chat.
happy to be
I hope
here.
everyone's enjoyed watching as well.
Yeah.
Let us know, let me and Game Zone know in the comments if you want to see more of our collaborations, more of our chats, because we talk every day, but we just don't get a chance to do this very often. So, but yeah, it's always fun to actually do these chats face to face rather than
Yeah,
just
exactly.
typing in game together.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
also since I avoid talking about the nerfs and these adjustments, because whenever I do, someone find it like that, GZ, you don't talk about Demon Hunter or any other classes like Tempest. uh, I try not to get into these things, but since it is a major change which is coming out with this update, so I thought we should talk about it. And it is all right if players have a different opinion, and you guys
yeah,
are free to share whatever. I mean, you think about these changes and let us know in the comment section because it always help us see different perspective, and we always
yeah,
respect that despite of you guys not liking what we have to say. At the end of the day, we are players as well who are making content and
yeah,
sharing our own minds here with you guys. So always share your thoughts with us in the comment section, because since we have the you know privilege of being in the partner program, we can always use that and take different perspective and bring
yeah,
your feedback to the developers, and l- overall it helps the game. So it is fine, you don't need to like our opinion, but make sure that you are always sharing yours in the comment section. So do share
yeah.
your thoughts on everything that we have talked about, and we will be looking forward to that.
Okay, I can see you now.
Yeah.
You just like disappeared. My alarm went off, and then my whole screen went black. So, yeah,
Uh,
we'll have to edit that bit out.
all right. I think you're heading out now, taking Nacho with you.
Yeah,
All right.
time to walk
This
that
was
show.
fun. Yeah, this was
Yeah,
fun.
thank you.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
me.
And we'll see you guys again soon. Let us know, as I
Yeah,
said in the comments, if you
definitely.
want to see more of this. And yeah, thank you for watching.
And I'll see you
Thank you
guys
so
in
much
my
for
next
coming.
one.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. Bye.
Official Diablo partner.